Stand for the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we'll open meeting for a public hearing for the additional appropriations.
This was advertised, the new way to advertise for additional appropriations are on the gateway. You don't have to put that ad in the paper anymore. It was posted in our lobby as well, so that was all done, and I didn't get any public comments in writing. The majority of these are the 27th pay, which was my error in figuring this year because the first falls on Friday of our payroll week, so we have to pay on the 31st to put it in 6. The other things on there is the longevity bonus, the continuing ed fund, opioid restricted, that was the funds that we sent to the foundation on our and the park non-reverting. And normally the continuing ed and the park non-reverting, I wait till the end of the year when we generally do additional appropriations, but I just want the month, so we don't have to.
Comments after you reviewed that? I'll move that we close the public hearing.
No, you just closed it.
I'll just close it. Okay, we'll declare the public hearing closed. Open a normal common council meeting. First order of business is roll call.
Chris Fox, Brian Hyde.
Here.
Greg Wigan. Matt Prater.
Here.
Dave Siskey.
Here. Next up is the minutes approval of our June 8th session.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from our June 8th session. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Citizens' comments this evening. New business. Brian, you want to talk about the Milford Food Bank?
Sure.
Yeah, the fruit. Sorry about that.
There you go.
If you could just state your name.
Okay. Brian Shepard with the Milford Food Bank, principal of West Noble Primary. Spoke to Chief Shear about something the Noble County Initiative would like to do. It's a non-for-profit. Right now it's funded by the Noble County Church. There's been interest in us purchasing Primary. So we would like to do something just to try a food sharing store, cost sharing. We do it at the food bank right now. It's, you can get food at a discount rate if you buy it in bulk. And that's what the food bank does. And as long as we purchase it, we could sell it to the public for a little bit more. That way, when we do purchase the Primary, we can make a little bit of money and we could save the community some money. It opens twice a month at Milford right now. And it's something we think we could bring to this side of the county. So I'm just asking permission if we can bring it to the fire station in July. Attempt it one time, see how it goes. We put it out there to the public. They would come through one of the bays. It'd probably be 8 to 10 skids of food. And it would vary depending on what bill gets that month. Right now there's cereals, muffins, a lot of frozen meat that we would have to store. We think we have that figured out. That's something we would like to attempt in late here.
On a short-term basis, or
we'd like to see how it goes.
yeah. Well, hopefully we got a plan for the building over there, do a little renovation and that kind of thing. So could at any given moment get kicked out, so to speak.
And right now we store some things there, and I'm aware of at any time things need to be taken out of there. But we just like to have a practice run to see if it's something our community could benefit from. Win-win.
Brian, with the items that are stored in there right now, would those also be given at that same time?
We would give those away.
Okay, this would be charged, so these.
There'll be a charge aisle the way why it is, there's some, the food to be for purchase.
And you do this at Milford currently?
Currently, we do it twice a month, second and fourth Saturdays of every month. This coming Saturday is a cost sharing store. Lots of people, guys. At first, not so many, but now, double, triple, they're lining up. Start with a couple volunteers, now we're up to 6 volunteers it takes to run the cost sharing store in Milford. Go ahead. Bill, God willing to get enough food, we can move it to this side, we'll move it to Milford County on this side. But he's willing to come this way.
Try to work those every other Saturday from over to here.
Well, right, what we would do is just pick a day in July. Get it out to the public and see how it goes, but it would not be during one of those two. It would not be during the second or fourth Saturday. It'd have to be something on one of the off Saturdays or a weeknight. That has yet to be planned.
So right now, you're just asking for permission for one trial run to see if it works.
Yep.
And then if it works, we may.
We'll go from there, we'll come back and tell you how it went.
So based on the schedule, the 18th would be the only Saturday that would be in between. You said it's the second and fourth that you do it at Milford, so the 18th is the only day, that's the only Saturday. That's what you're proposing, then, is that what I'm hearing?
I like it. You're giving me Saturday, then I take Saturday.
Was that what day work, is that what you
I'll
typically
go
do?
back and I'll talk to Pastor Moore, who's a pastor at Noble County Community Church. I'll talk to Bill Deggy, who runs the Milford Food Bank, and we'd see if there's a net product by the 18th to support Ligonier and to support Milford.
How soon would food start coming in to this station or here prior?
What we would do is we would probably set it up Friday night. So the 17th, we do it on the 18th. We'd set up the dry goods, and then we would bring the frozen goods probably in on a reefer truck.
So it would only be for that day or two, basically,
It would
so
just
48
be-
hours maybe.
Right now in Milford, it's 7:30 to 12:30, so it's 5 hours.
Would we have any conflict at that point, if we propose the 18th, that you guys are aware of? That's certainly what the.
As far as what we're looking at doing,
Yeah.
it's not in the very near future. I mean, what we're looking at,
Not
I mean,
tomorrow.
it's just not even in, I mean, it's not even in, it's just.
July's just a week and a half away.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of our wish list items anyway, is
Sure.
to turn that into a community. room. So, I mean, it's not, there's nothing set in stone. So,
We want to make you aware that like the early learning, we thought we had for 5 years, that kind of short, so. Then I don't want to say, yeah, you're welcome to do it for the rest of your life, and then tomorrow I'll tell you to get out.
And we're
Well,
housing
it's
early
just
learning, I
asking
think, for the next 2 weeks. Probably.
yeah, so far.
Which is, that's what you do.
I'll make a motion to go ahead with the approval.
Yeah, I'll second that for the 18th.
It's been moved and seconded that we go ahead and approve that request for the Milford Food Bank and give it a try. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thanks, Brian.
Next up, we have the ordinance number 1044, 2026 for the additional appropriation.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 1044, 2026 on the first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept ordinance number 1044, 2026 on the first reading. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we suspend the rules. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Get a motion to approve ordinance 1044, 2026 on the second reading.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we accept ordinance number 1044/2026 on the second reading. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
I motion to approve ordinance 1044/2026 on the third title.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept ordinance number 1044/2026 on the third and final reading. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Next up, we got a must meeting proposal.
We've been working with Baker Tilly, and they had said they would help us get this set up. We really need to get it set up in the county so that we can get everybody on the same page. They sent us a proposal to do that. We would like to take the lead on this, and then hopefully after the initial, that some of the other agencies, when they see how it's gonna benefit them, will, help chip in on the expenses. We did speak with Ross about this as well. We can fit it into our plan if we need to pay the whole thing. Them being the expert in this field and being able to explain all of this legislation, would be very beneficial to do. Paige Sansone is kind of the lead person that works on the lit, along with Ross and the other people in the group that are. But just in some of their initial runs, it looks like it could possibly, our lit funds, which at first we didn't know how, until we discovered something in the formula, we could actually recoup more than what we initially anticipated. If we did on our own, and tried to do our own, that we would not make it. We would be under what we currently get by over $500,000 a year. But they're even saying that some of this could potentially help with some of the loss of property. So just to get this explained to the other officials in the other communities, so we do have a tentative first meeting set up for July 1st. Actually, I think Kate was a little bit premature and sent an email out today. I told her we were taking it to the council tonight. But anyway, you would all be invited, every elected official in the county, and even to school corporations, and who would not currently get lit, but it's still just an education for them, and also maybe townships, because, and I think the libraries, well, some of the other units that don't actually, they'll be property tax replacement is in the lit, and that's going to go away too. So just to let them see how it can all help all the units.
Grove City reached out to me today already, and one of their council members will be here for that.
Okay. Did they provide it, Paige?
I'm not sure, I haven't had time.
Okay.
Is that been the general consensus so far? Is that the other governing bodies got interest in this?
Yes,
Charge on it?
yes, but so initially I had received something from Albion. You and Earl had spoken with Kendall.
We've been to go along with AIM, yeah.
Along with AIM, and then I think the smaller units, especially because some of them really they can't even apply for their home, but just to have it get one standard rate for the whole county. And it's going to be vital in our future planning and our 5-year planning to have this in place and to do it. And the meetings, they had something in the legislation that's, and I think they said they use the acronym MUST because really you don't have to have these meetings, but it's only to the benefit of everybody to have them. So, you know, they had reached out to us to see, because we were working with Ross and Adam, and then they said Paige is their expert on this, and so I would recommend that we approve this so that we can get it done. And I would hope maybe some of you could maybe attend at least that first meeting to see. It's gonna be cute.
Yeah, there's a ton of information that Brian and I talking with Amy, and cleared up few misconceptions we had about the thing, and as it turned out, if we do it correctly, we stand to make more money. Kendallville makes a little bit, and it also helps the towns that don't have a voice. Being a city, we have a voice, and working with the county ends up with more money. Therefore, townships, smaller towns end up with more money. So creating this task force is an excellent idea, and that voice goes to the leaders in the Senate and everything else. They'll hear this if they haven't figured it out yet. Some of them haven't, how this formula works, and let them know how everybody feels. So this is not only here, throughout the whole state. They're setting up, and every county set up these task force, and each county, each county.
And when the other governing bodies in the county, do they know that possibly we would be cost sharing this expense?
I think that's, we'll talk about that. I would think that when they see what they're able to gain, that would be their benefit too.
I think given that, knowing that we have interest, and with other governing bodies as well, I should approve the last meeting approval or proposal.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. It's been moved and seconded that we go forward with setting up the bus task force meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Did you all get that email thing? You were on the email, did you get the email? Your city email? Yes.
Next up, Mr. Crossley, update us a little bit on the police department.
Mike Crossley with City Police Department. The updates what I have is for our ASAP changes. My position going from assistant chief to chief. I need to get that spot filled. We got a promotion process that we follow. So my hopes is going forward works with recommendations. And with the person replacing me, taking my spot, would be Jason Shear. And now that vacates his spot, so we're through a promotion process again. And at the end of that, my recommendation put Grant Moser in the detective sergeant spot. That's my hope for that going through. Then the other is once Chief Shear retired in July, I want to start our hiring process, replace it. My hopes is to have all that done by July 28th. So I guess here we're fully staffed.
Thanks for all the work on that. Make this transition as smooth as you can.
Maybe that's for as well, as have that up again.
Yeah, we pretty much already have that. We've got a guy who's already been through all the road. He's already got everything he needs done. He's been on some schools, doing a lot here lately. So we're make one that the grants will ATS or 500. And then a new hire he will fill it. That's all I got.
Thank you, Mike. Brian.
Brian Shear, I think I'm still at least on Sundays, I'm not sure. And I didn't want Mike to have to ask for his salary to be set by himself, so I told him I would do that. First of all, I want to say I know you voted, but I want to throw my support behind the bus process. And I think it's really a good thing that we stepped up in the county and are going to host this first meeting, because literally affects public safety. And with us going forward, we're going to have this. So, and so is the county. I kind of relate the must meetings, like I did the public safety tax that our county council voted on. I don't want to say how many years ago now, this time flies, but 7 or 8 years ago. They really didn't understand and didn't even know that they would benefit from it. But once again, Ligonier stepped forward and went to the county council meeting and we requested that that be done. So at that point, it wasn't so we could add anything public safety wise, but it was to survive on what we had and we didn't have to cut people. And this is a similar situation. And I think one reassuring thing was AIM did their own study, right, on how this was going to affect basically every community in the state. They took that upon themselves to do. And then we had Baker Tilly do the same thing, and the results were pretty equal. So when you have the organization that represents all municipalities within the state and your finance people coming up with the same scenario, we feel a lot more comfortable about it than we did. And yes, that will help our planning going forward. So I thank you for voting for that. I think it will be advantageous for us to do the county-wide rate, and I think they will as well. I just don't see us having a problem with having the county council pass a county-wide rate. So I look forward to that and those discussions. We're going to get started July 1st, so I hope you all can be here. With saying that, I've got a couple salary proposals I'd like to do for the chief and assistant chief position with me leaving. Let me grab my paperwork that I forgot, so I don't misspeak. I'm recommending that the chief's salary be $80,002. I remind you that that would be my salary today if I was in that position, minus the public safety money the city decided to pay. So that's basically where I would be if I didn't have the public safety. So that's for the chief's.
And the new chief will not be the public safety director.
Correct. The new chief will not be the public safety director. He's just going to be the chief. That's why it's reduced from where I'm at when you look at the salary. Which is $13,000 difference. Okay. So in doing this and setting the assistant chief, my recommendation is 77,012, 7712 for the assistant chief position. I would like to ask that the ordinance reflect this starting Sunday, July 26th. That's the pay period that I would ask for this to go into effect for the chief and assistant chief. What I'm saying within that, with that $13,000 difference, this isn't going to make the police department budget inflated in any way. So first, I would ask for those two amendments to the salary ordinance to reflect that starting July 26th.
Motion to add that.
I was thinking about employee being advanced, like a new employee in a new position. And when we started new employees, like $18 an hour. So,
Yeah.
you know, you guys have some experience. I can move that maybe 20 in the corner.
Comedian in every crowd.
Just reported.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dave. I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're fine. I'll make a motion to amend our salary ordinance and have that drafted up.
It's been moved and seconded that make the chief's salary $80,002 and the assistant chief's salary $77,012. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Thank you. Yeah, I know. The third one I would like to explain a little bit. It is for the administrative assistant to the police department. Kelly James is who has that position. Barb and I had talked in length about me having some type of an assistant take the mayor's role. I think it's gonna be needed. I support, Barb's thought on that. I just didn't want to start that off full-time to begin with. I wanna feel this out as we go, and, if it's not gonna require a full-time position, I don't wanna create that, right? So we're gonna ask Kelly to take that role on in regards to basically scheduling and answers calls and stuff like that. To be quite honest, she's done a real good job with it for the last month that we've known all of this. So we would like her to take that task on. If anyone can do it, she can do it. She's very organized, and in no way at any time, if I feel that this is affecting her position within the police department, or Mike would, and he would come to me, we would do something different. But I think out of the gate here, that would be better suited for the city and myself to start that slowly. And if she can do it, we'll just stay with that. So in saying that, she's currently at $20.86 an hour. I'd like to move her to 25 even for her position, including the new role of scheduling and taking phone calls and so forth for the mayor's position. Questions, concerns?
Where will that money come from? Which fund will that increase? Will it still come out?
That's still within that budget.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It won't affect anything compared to what he was making. The mayor and the clerk and the police department, and the fire department are all in the general fund, so it's not like you're changing funds, it's just a department, and I can't see that you even need to make that adjustment to put it in under the mayor's. We could always just leave it under the police department, just knowing what that would be, how it could be. I mean, if it got to be a position.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could look at it at that point.
Takes a big load off the Barb's shoulders to, answer the phone. Yeah, but doing some bigger, and most of the bigger was minor. And Barb getting up on it later.
Yes.
Working through the budgets, everything else, so.
I'm ready for Barb to be the clerk, and I'm gonna help that situation.
Department kind of helping out.
Yes.
Anyway, a little bit, take that away from her.
Yes, just the phone calls alone and scheduling part of it. Barb won't even have to worry about that part of it. And Kelly does that now, so that there won't be, I don't think there'll be a problem. And if there is, we'll explore something else. But I would rather try this first than to create a whole new position and benefits and.
Well, and the other thing
stuff like
with it
that.
too is, I mean, she's currently a 35-hour week employee.
She is,
And
yes.
you've got up to 40 before you can get into overtime.
Yes.
So if she can fit any of it in, and then if you wanted to increase her hours to an
Yes.
8-hour day.
That is one thing I never thought of. But yeah, she is a 70-hour per pay period employee. So if we needed to increase her hours, we could and still be under the overtime
And then
aspect.
you're not looking at, well, first of all, to find a part-time person is
Tough.
really difficult.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can't work just a part-time job.
Yeah.
They need a full-time job.
Yeah.
And then if you're looking at full-time, is how you're gonna keep a full-time person busy, because personally, I don't think you're gonna find that you're gonna keep them. I mean, we've had this conversation.
Yes.
We don't think that it's gonna be enough for a full-time person, plus
Right.
then you've got the benefits and all that to an additional person. And that would be where you'd be more in trouble trying to figure out how are you gonna fund somebody, as opposed to just,
Yes.
having that person work additional hours.
Will that new work, if you want to work this to reflect anything that changes, that she's both mayor and police department assistant at all? Or
Ask that again.
did you want anything changed in that description for her?
Position title.
Yeah,
Position title?
we could add mayor's assistant to it and
And,
Yeah,
as far
I mean,
as this, their salary, the hourly people have a range anyway, so we don't actually have to amend the
Yes.
salary part of it, we just have to put the approval.
this the range for the administrative assistant is $18 to $26. So we're within that range. I just wanted to reflect and you guys to be aware of what we'd like to try first. So that would be my recommendation for the administrative assistant.
I'll make a motion for the increase that she mentioned.
Okay, which one of the bid?
Doesn't matter. Let Brian take the motion, I'll take the second.
It's been, moved and seconded that, we give, Kelly a try here, being the mayor's assistant and, taking care of the police work also, and her salary at $25. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay.
How would you like the,
Motion carried.
title? The position title,
Just to that admin assistant to the mayor's office.
police.
Slash.
Police admin slash, police slash village admin.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Brian. I think also in your packets, got the bank reconciliation and fund report. Everybody had a chance to look through that. Okay, everybody acknowledge seeing the reports.
Got your packet, you got your reports.
Next up is our claims register.
Make a motion to claim register.
It's been moved and seconded that we take care of our claims register. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Right, any other comments?
Nothing else at this point.
Mike? The other Mike?
Mike should.
Mike Burnett with the Ligonier Street Department. Just a reminder that we do have some sidewalks getting put in, homeowners taking advantage of the 50/50 program that's still available to the homeowner. Take advantage of it.
Thank you, Mike. Jeremy?
Nothing.
Nothing? Jeff?
Last week we had the first main break of the season. You guys did an excellent job. Crawled in the hole, didn't complain, and we didn't even shut it down. We did it live. Tonight we had another call for one up on the Green Park by Dr. Stone's old house on the south side. We're digging that tomorrow morning at 9. Hopefully everything goes the same as it on the other one. They have been doing it long enough in a year and a half that they have got it down where I don't even have to call it anymore. So I feel real good about it. They're still in school and they're finishing up things. They're taking tests next week. We got Market Street done. We'll be moving on to some other streets that are going to be paved in the crossings grant, so we get those done. BS is working on a list of other streets that they think they're going to do next. So if we've got time this year, we're going to bounce off those and start hitting some of those. I want to stay ahead of this because if I don't, we fall behind, we're done. We don't have a big, huge crew that I could be doing 10 of these a day. So we want to try to stay ahead of it. As soon as we possibly can, we're going to pave. The guys are going down back daily, put limestone in, raking what's out in the hole and adding. And keep doing that. The worst time is over the weekend, and Sam did have to go fill 2 in when he worked last, I think, but that was a big deal. If anybody does call you about it, call me and I'll sit down and take care of it. Besides that, everything's going well at the plant. We now, with our new meter reading program, we only have 10 meters that's not reading, that they have to get out of the truck and go read. We're changing those. Once those are changed, we'll be about 99% not out of the truck. Matter of fact, City Hall can read it right from here. So that would be nice for girls in the office too, because that saves one trip of us driving out there and getting the reading. One time we had to go out and shut off. So last month, the turnoffs were down for a change, it was kind of nice. And the other thing is, and I probably said something to Barb about this, anybody you talk to, if they see some water somewhere, call us. I'd rather make 50 trips out. The last one that we had behind, Town Line Apartments, they had been mowing around it for a week, never called. And the neighbor knew about it for a month because it was running in his yard. We lost a lot of water, out of that hole. So if they would just call, I'd rather make a trip out and say, no, that's this or whatever. It's real helpful to the city. That lost water thing is a big thing for the state of Indiana now. So we really need to put our numbers down. The amount of water we use actually on meters. Like some of the park stuff, we keep track of the usage, we don't bill. And I'm fine with that, but the thing is, we get the usage down if we use that water. So, if you talk to anybody, tell them these things, because I don't know how else to get it out. But, this one here, I think just happened today, because it doesn't look like it's blowing the sand up there. But if you got any questions, let me know, and thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Ben?
I have nothing,
Elroy?
I don't have anything.
I don't miss anybody. Matt?
Nothing, thank you.
Brian?
I don't have anything either.
David?
Just to follow up from the last council meeting, where I mentioned about EMS response times, really long and short of it, I had a report pulled from January 1 through, basically 6/1. And, there's 22, I looked at just, what we call a PI accident, right, a personal injury accident. There was 22 of those, in that length of time. Parkview's dispatch was able to get me their response numbers. They're received, when they received the call from dispatch and when they were dispatched out, were very close in time, within a minute. Of those times, there was 4 of those 22 incidents, that they were disregarded, so those wouldn't count towards that. I did that average time, and ultimately that average time came to about 10 minutes. So although we may perceive that there is a longer response time, at least looking at the 6-month period, it hasn't been that tragic. It hasn't been what I would call outside normal range. So I just want to give you guys an update on that at this point. Probably something I'm going to continue to work or look through occasionally. I had somebody after the last meeting and said, well, I decided to take my wife to the hospital myself because I thought I could get there quicker than Parkview EMS. So I know that it's not just a perceived problem. People know it's an issue at times. And our longest wait time for somebody was 21 minutes, which I do think is an extremely long period of time. There was others that were less than 3 minutes response. So that of course skews a little bit of that average time, but just something I want to give you guys an update on. If you hear people out here that have been frustrated or anything, just let me know or get you in contact somewhere, because I think our residents need to make sure they can count on EMS services promptly. So other than that, that's all I've got.
Thanks, Dave. Ready? Barb? Laura? Back to our lit thing in middle of July. I'll be down in Greensburg to the mayor's conference down there, and there's 2 workshops at least directly dedicated to the lit situation. So the ITOM conferences like that, we have AIM is their kind of lobbying group, and plus a lot of representatives and senators are there, and we can express our thoughts to them too, and fill them in, because I think our local ones now understand better. Since we started these conversations, they didn't understand everything either, and so it trickles down the line till it gets down to the senators and congressmen and stuff in session, that they understand what they're voting on. So, looking forward to go down there and see how those workshops move. Do have a mayor's roundtable, once again, in Elkhart this Friday. Once again, another way, our AIM group will be there, and you hear from all the different mayors and where they're at with their issue, setting up these task forces, and that's kind of thing in their counties, and AIM's there, and sometimes most of the time our representatives are there from different departments. So all these meetings are very important that they hear that we're setting up these task forces, take that back with them, back to the state house. Looking forward to that meeting, but take Brian with me Friday, and get him introduced to the mayor's group and get him used to going to those meetings. I have nothing else. I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that we adjourned. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.